Welcome to a celebration of timeless beauty, strength, and empowerment. Over the last year, I embarked on a remarkable journey capturing the essence of 40 women over the age of 40. Each portrait tells a unique story of resilience, confidence, and self love. Through the lens, we witness transformation, not just in appearance, but in spirit. These women embraced their inner beauty and embraced their ageless confidence. And now these stories and portraits come together in celebration of community and authenticity. Our exhibition is a testament that beauty knows no age and self-love has no bounds. I am so proud to present these 40 incredible women as they share with us their stories, wisdom, inspiration, and unique experiences.
I think my idea of perfect happiness is just being able to be at peace, be grounded. Really, it has nothing to do with like monetary value. It's just being able to be free to be myself. I think that's true happiness.
Family, love, understanding of each other, seeing the intricacies of each other and knowing that just by a look in your eye that you know what the other person thinking or wanting or needing. Perfect happiness is also knowing who you are, understanding who you are, accepting who you are, and moving through life with that person. Because there's only, at the end, there's really only just you.
My idea of happiness is actually waking up every morning. No, I actually really enjoy my family and God and just living out my days. I'm at retirement age now, so I'm doing a little bit more traveling and getting around and exploring.
My idea of perfect happiness is the ability to allow myself to be happy when things aren't happy around me, to not wait for situations to be perfect before I can appreciate the life that I have, the things that I've done, and the people that I surround myself with.
One of my favorite quotes is actually, sometimes you have to break good things to make them better.
My favorite motto is my own. I march to the beat of my own drum. I am simply me, and there's no one else like me.
My favorite quote is, if it's good, it's great. And if it's bad, it's an experience. Because I feel like you can learn from all your mistakes, and that's how you grow.
One of my favorite quotes is, do the best you can with what you know. When you know better, do better. That's my opinion.
My job, actually, because I like my job. You know, I take care of, well, I'm a manager. I don't actually take care of them. I work in a specialty clinic. I love the people that I work with. I love, you know, kind of going through the clinics a lot of times and seeing some of the kids and just being with those people. So I kind of get up thinking, you know, another day, we got to get there and help the kids. You know, it's a clinic that has a lot of specialty care of kids, so they have some, you know, issues, chronic diseases and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of different clinics that I manage.
I am blessed every day to wake up and go to a job that I love, doing things for other people, and I think I like to bring joy to others, and nothing brings more joy than watching people walk across the stage and graduate. And so that gets me up out of bed every morning to know that I've got things to do for other people, but I still got to care for myself.
What gets me up in the morning is my family. I have a fantastic family, my husband and my sons. I just want to do better for them every day. Even though my sons are already grown, it seems like I've always got something to teach them, and I just want to keep them in a way that allows them to grow even more. So I'm motivated to do better every single day for them. And it just, I think it's I don't need any other motivation. It's like just having my family and being able to know that every single time I do better, they can do better. That's what gets me up in the morning, and that's definitely what motivates me.
So the thing that motivates me and gets me up in the morning is, one, knowing I'm alive. That's always a good thing for anyone. And also just, I love my job, I love what I do, and also I have my kids and my grandkids. So that always makes me happy to wake up in the morning and know that I'm facing another day, especially if it's a day that I'm getting to see them and spend time with my loved ones, because I don't get to see them as often. So it's always a treasured moment to spend that time with them.
I don't really think my values have changed over time. I think what I value maybe has changed over time. Less about work and about impressing other people, and more about being present and being with your family and doing things that are meaningful as opposed to things that make you look good.
How have my values changed since I've gotten older? That's an interesting one, because as I was an early mom. I was a mom at 20 and then got married and had more kids, and so my values were focused around family and my children, which I will never change, but it did also, there was a lot of self-neglect for the betterment of my family, and I think that as I've gotten to be this age of being 55, I realized that that was my journey, and I have to have grace with myself, but there was a lot of not taking care of myself, and we really can't give out of an empty vessel. So I would say I'm shifting over the last probably 10 years, been shifting about really learning, what do I want, who am I, and what fills me up and what excites me, and then how can I help other people not kind of fall into that trap of I'm married and have kids, and what I want and what I need don't matter because it's them. So there's a good balance there, and I kind of went one way, and so I think that's probably the thing that's really changed in my values. But ultimately it's always been about love, so I guess in some respects it hasn't changed at all. It's just how I do it.
Very much so. They've changed because things that were important to me are no longer important to me. I have different values, and I'm at a place where I feel those values plentiful my life more so.
I don't know that they have changed really all that much. I guess one thing that's been important as I age is that I don't really care so much what other people think. So when we're younger, we value what other people think about us. And now at this stage in my life, I could really care less. So I'm just embracing, this time in my life is all about me and what I think, and as long as I like it, I look in the mirror, I see what I like, I'm happy, that's all that matters.
In life, I produced two beautiful children that turned out to be good adults. Yeah.
I think my greatest achievement is my family. taking care of my children, and now I'm doing, get to spend time with. I have 3 granddaughters, so I'm spending lots of time with them. So it's been a blessing that way.
My greatest achievement is being at peace with myself. I pursued art, I pursued working with patients, I pursued social work and worked globally for a tech company, but in the end, being at peace with myself is what makes it all worthwhile.
Ooh, my greatest achievement is actually my sobriety. So I will have 9 years in October. So that has been my biggest challenge, but also my most rewarding thing. Something that you might think is a calamity has turned into my greatest miracle and my greatest strength. So I'm really grateful for my sobriety, and I try to just live one day at a time.
Friendships and being able to do good. You always strive to do good, but being able to do it and not have to worry about other things. That you can do good in small and you can do good in big. And so being able to do good is something that I have taken to heart, I guess.
What I might value most now is being able to enjoy my family. Being able to see my kids and the lives that they're building. Being able to enjoy time with my husband. We're able to do a lot more fun things together now.
In life now, I value family. It's very important to have that family union because our family, we need each other. So that I really value in my life. It's my family.
What do I value more in life? The gift of time. So time with my kids, my family, my husband, of course. That's all you can ask for. What do you want for your birthday? I want you to spend the day with me. I want the gift of time.
My relationship with time, I definitely feel it's speeding up. I feel that's so overstated that people say time goes fast, so much faster as you get older, and it's weird because it's true. So with time, I know I want to make the most of what time I have, and with the people. How I make the most of the time I have is spending it with the people that I love, and that's really what makes the most of the time that I have.
Oh, I think I'm a much better time manager now that I've gotten older. Obviously, you learn how to manage and juggle multiple things. I'm a serious multitasker. And I think that's because I try to get more done so you can then have more time to spend with your family. So it's trying just to be more productive, more efficient, I think, as opposed to just being busy.
My relationship with time itself. I recognize the value of a day. When you're a young person, it's so easy to take it for granted. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll put it off till next week. I'll get it done sometime. I think when you grow as a person and you get older, time becomes more precious. And you recognize that a day can go by so quickly. You recognize that there's things that you should have done you didn't do and you want to do them. So it makes you think a lot harder about every hour, how you spend your day, how you spend your weekend, taking advantage of the time that you have with family. So I never take that for granted.
My relationship with time has changed as I've gotten older. Sort of like that cliche that time just flies by. The older you get, the more you appreciate just every single moment I have. And you realize how quickly these moments go by. The good ones fly. And I've also realized that the bad ones pass as well. And that's something that I have learned, and something that when I go through a tough time, I remind myself that this too shall pass. And that is one of the things that I hold on to the dearest during bad times. And during good times, I think, oh my goodness, I want this to last forever, but it doesn't. So I enjoy it as much as I can while it's happening.
I'm really having to think about that one because I'm a lot older than 40. At 40, I was going back to college to finish my degree. I found a husband. I didn't intend that, but I have goals, and I'm really good at coming up with goals and figuring out ways to go ahead and meet those goals.
I feel like my ambitions probably were more superficial or, I don't know, materialistic when I was younger and, more money driven. But I think as I've gotten older and got into my 40s, my ambitions are really to be happy, spend time with family, and, just having work's important, but just having work-life balance, and being more calm and not being so frantic and stressed. And I don't know, I think that's what has changed, I guess. But I feel like I'm more calm now. Like, I used to be so stressed out and think, okay, I gotta do everything now. But now I just take things one at a time, and I'm just more calm, I guess. I think that's what's changed too.
I was incredibly driven, started my own business, and then run my father's business when he passed. That being able to say that I'm retired has been one of the bigger challenges, to not have the ambition to work, but do what needs to be done and have fun doing and raising money and doing things for other people is something that, as I've aged, it changed from doing things for your family, still taking them into consideration, but doing things for others outside.
Okay, my ambitions have definitely changed in my 40s. Early 40s, I wouldn't say so much, but really when I hit that 44, 45 mark is when I really decided that work and being on top and everything, that didn't really matter so much anymore. I don't need to climb the corporate ladder. Really, work-life balance is more important to me now, and I cherish that. And I love my time outside of work, and I had to learn that, and I think that I have. So.
One of those things on my bucket list is to do an album. So I guess I've now checked off the box for an album cover. All that's next is recording the actual album.
Something that I had the most fun doing, that, things that I didn't get to do as a child, believe it or not, was just ice skating. Like, I played hooky when I was still working, and one day went out ice skating, and I had the most fun, and it was like, okay, check. So I'm slowly but surely getting through all the things on that list, but I just had the most fun doing it. It was just the simple things in life that mean so much to me now.
I went to Japan. So my mother is Japanese. So 2018. So is that 4 years? Yeah, 4 years. 4 years ago, that was my first bucket list because I've never been to Japan. My mom, born, raised, and grew up in Japan until she married an American soldier. And she has been back quite a few times while she was alive. And so my daughter and I, her name is Keiko, which she has a Japanese name. And my younger daughter has a Japanese name too, but that was kind of the bucket list that I had to get done before anything else happened. And so in 2018, we went to Japan, and we also went to my mom's hometown to see if we could find some relatives. It was kind of hard. We came back home because we didn't find the relatives, but it was the most fascinating trip, I'm going to get kind of teary-eyed about it because I felt like my mom was there. We went all the way to Hiroshima, and we sat there and spent a day and a half in Hiroshima just to see Ground Zero, and hear about all the things that happened with World War II. I wanted to go back just because it was just fascinating, and I kept telling my daughter, I said, I'm going to have to come back here and live, but that's probably not going to happen. But I would love to go there and stay for a couple of months.
I wanted to go back, like I said, and get my degree, and I did. And I wanted to be self-sufficient, and I have made that happen. my last year has been tough because I lost my husband, but I've learned strengths that I didn't even know I had. And I've learned that I really have fun in life. Really way more than I'm supposed to. But I've reconnected with my adult children. Is that it? Adult children? That's kind of an oxymoron, isn't it? But anyhow, my life is just rich and full right now. And I'm just living it, my best life right now.
I think our generation is the most flexible because we have the techie people and we had just started that, moving into that. But we also came from families from the war and from grandparents from the Depression. So I feel like we are the most able to transition into whatever is to come and handle it with grace. I think they look up to us because of, our ability to adapt, right?
I'm going to go with my son's age. He's 23, so I'd say that's, a pretty young generation. I won't go with millennials because I do think it's very different, but my son will often ask me, like, is this how life has always been? There's a lot going on in the world right now. So I think that he's respecting my generation, but I also think that they want better. They want better than what we gave them, and that's good too. So I think it's a mixed bag. It just depends.
Honestly, I feel like my generation is one of the better generations. If you think about all the movies and stuff they're making these days, they're actually remakes of the movies of when I was growing up. So I would like to say that my generation is one of the best generations.
I think younger generation sees my generation as like, you don't know technology, you don't know, the ways of the world. But what they fail to realize, we're the generation who knew how to store everybody's phone number in our brain, everybody's address. We played kick the can like it had no issue in the street. We played outside till that street light came on, and we were kids. We literally were kids. We learned how to take the train and ride the bus and learned how to read a map. These kids nowadays, if they don't have GPS on their phone, they're totally lost. I say that I truly think they can't find their way out of a paper bag. So whereas they're above us, in technology and ways of the world and, all of those advancements, we still had the best life. Even though we were latchkey kids, we went to the movies every Saturday and it was like $4. For $8 you got popcorn, movie theater, tickets, soda. It was a simple life. Now everything is just technology and no one speaks to themselves. It's sad. It's sad. So they're losing, not me. I don't think so.
A myth I'd like to bust about being a woman over 50 is we're still very sexual and we're still very sensual and we're still very beautiful. And I think that we have bought into the lies long enough that, we have to be 20 and a size 00 and, be 6 foot tall or more. And that's bullshit. I know with our wisdom that we've gained over a lifetime, that's a whole nother level of beauty that deserves to be seen, and we just need to love ourselves and realize that we're a complete package. It doesn't have to do with anything. We are a complete package no matter what. We may not like some things, but that's okay. Still gotta love ourselves and know that we just are beautiful in who we are.
I think it's a myth that we're old when we're over 40. I've had more fun since I've become 40 and over than I ever did, I think, when I was younger. I'm not afraid to try new things. I'm not afraid to tell people how much they mean to me. And so some people think that as you get over 40 or more mature, that life's not as much fun and you don't enjoy as much. I enjoy it more.
Oh yeah, I think you can be anything you want to be at 70. Embrace it. In there, you don't have to give in to being that age. Just still go out there and be active and exercise or whatever your thing is. Go out there and embrace it. Do it, because you can be beautiful even at our age in there, and you can be active at our age. I think my kind of thing is if you start acting older, you're going to get older, So I think it's a lot of a mindset.
How long do we have? How long do we have? How many myths around women over 40 do I want to bust? All of them, because there are so many. I want to bust the idea that our value diminishes every year that we grow older. I want to bust the myth that the meaning in our lives, what we can contribute. I want to bust the myth that life gets unhappier the older that we get, because I no longer have the thighs of when I was 18. I want to bust the myth that there isn't an entirely new universe to explore and experience with so much more confidence, awareness, accuracy, truthfulness, and authenticity. I know I'm just starting into my 40s, but I already feel so different than I did in my younger decades. I want to bust the myth that beauty is only for the young. I want to bust the idea that what we consider to be beauty is actually wrong, and that we should redefine and celebrate and find the new ways and the new kinds of beauty that are all around us that our world tells us to dismiss.
I don't think women over 40 are represented enough in marketing across the board. In pharmaceuticals, yeah, but it's funny, it's not even that peak age of really getting to that sweet spot in our age. It's like you're either 60 plus or you're 25 and younger. And there's this need for this. There's something about hitting 40 and 50 where I just think people blossom. They come into their own. I would love to see more marketing around that.
No. Where I see women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s being represented in social media is when we're selling something to make us younger, thinner, prettier. And quite honestly, after your 40s, 50s, 60s, that's not the game. I mean, every day you're as young as you're ever going to be, and gravity is a thing, and you're beautiful regardless of what your exterior water bottle presents to the world. We get to show our souls, and I think social media can be used to show how we shine in our own right.
That's a joke, right? No, not even close. In fact, I believe that the reason that American women in particular have such high standards for ourselves that we'll never meet is because we see nothing but airbrushed models everywhere, and even the women who are over 50. I love Jennifer Aniston, but come on. If she doesn't have her own nutritionist and personal trainer and personal Botox syringe in her bathroom, I'll eat my foot.
No, I do not. If you look on Instagram and all of the, in Facebook, and you look at all the reels, and for those that don't have it, I'm sure we see it on just internet sites and regular TV, you'll see that products that are geared towards women over 40 still have somebody who is 20 and a size 2. No real women are size 2 people. None. We are 10, 12s, 14s. Somebody over here is laughing at me, but it's the truth. We're not. But we have gray hair. We have curves. We are thick women. We are great women. We wear a real size. And I don't think that
the media embraces us as being authentic and real. And I would love to go to them and tell them, knock it off.
I think this was a great experience for turning 50, although I might be a little older than that. But it was great. It's just something I did for me, and I've really enjoyed it.
So my actual 40th birthday was ushered in between having my 2 children. So I actually didn't get quite what I wanted for that time. But every year since, I have celebrated my birthday in my 40s in a really big, outrageous way. So they're kind of crazy. We have parties with tattoo artists and enormous ball gowns, and we go to a rage room wearing Madonna bras, and we went to an archery range wearing all fishnets and combat boots. Any whim that I want, I now choose for my birthday celebrations. And what's really cool about it is that some of my younger girlfriends have started the trend for themselves, which is wild celebration, which is just radical self-love, and their right to exist as they are.
When I turned 50, so my husband turned 50 before me, and he decided that a lot of good things kept happening for him that year, and he had decided that he was going to celebrate his 50th birthday all year long. And so I was turning 50 after him, and so I said, well, you know what that means? It means that I get a year-long birthday too. And so pretty much that year I said yes to every single thing that came my way. I got to take some amazing trips and just celebrate myself. So yeah, I really enjoyed my 50s.
Doing this 40 over 40 is my mark of turning 60, I guess you could say. It's just my next chapter, and this is the way I wanted to bring in that next chapter, I guess, and start there.
Yes, I feel like my priorities have changed since I've turned 40. I feel like I'm more family-centric. Still not losing who I am as a person, but I am more focused on family and my kids without losing myself.
So my priorities have definitely changed in my 50s because, well, my kids have changed. When you are, I chose motherhood, right? So because you do that, you have a priority during those years. And now that is transitioning out, I feel as though I'm just reimagining really all the priorities. That's a transition stage right now, and it literally is about priorities because I get to shift them, figure out what they are going to shift to.
Like I said, my priorities have changed because all of my children are all grown and out of the house. So it's more, my life is more geared towards me and my husband now, and trying to day by day with that one. We just moved into a new house last year, so I'm trying still decorating and trying to get that taken care of. But yeah, it's just more focused on me and my husband now instead of a family, which is a good thing.
Yes, because I've realized just really how short life really is. So I'm trying to do everything on my bucket list in there, because you never know from one moment to the next how much time you have left. So yes, my priorities have changed. Trying to stay as young as I can.
I would say to live more freely and really live the best life is taking some time to do some deep inner work to see where you are making compromises in your life and your choices to make other people happy and live for other people and their others' validation and like trying to please everyone else, because this is your life, and the
person that you will never get rid of is yourself. So you might as well make sure that you're living more authentically, and that leads to happiness and more fulfillment.
I want to tell people that look to yourself, look to your inner side, because inside there is your free will, your free ability to think on your own. Women kind of get in a little window that people think so much of them, or their prejudice about women can't do this or can't do that. But my advice would be to open up yourself. Don't be afraid. Never be afraid. If you're going to try something, try it. All you can do is fail, and if you fail, you learn why you failed. I'm very free-willed, and I don't let people tell me what I have to do or what I can do. If they tell me no, I can't, then I don't care what it is. My free will says I will do it as long as I'm capable. But that would be it. And I would say always be positive. Don't ever think bad for yourself. Make yourself pull the goodness in your heart out. You're free to do anything that you want in this world.
The advice I would give another woman or my daughters is to give yourself space to grow and to understand that you're going to make mistakes, and those mistakes actually make you better. And also that you need to really enjoy your days because they're wonderful, and make sure you're surrounding yourself around that.
If I was telling somebody else, giving them advice on their life and how to get that best, I had a counselor that helped me through some of my grief. And she came up with something, and it had to be probably the most profound thing I've ever done and the easiest thing I've ever done at the same time. Pick one, like a day a week, day a month, every day, whatever you feel is good for you, and do one random act of kindness. If it's nothing more than telling somebody, "Ooh, I love that outfit," or "Those are the cutest shoes." One random act of kindness. Sometimes it's that my server, he got, a $20 tip. I went back into at McAllister's. I ate there one day during the pandemic when they just started opening. And they had all of 4 employees. That's it. And they were struggling. And I went in, I ordered, and they brought me my food. And it was really good. Somebody had taken time with it. So I went back and I asked for the manager, and I asked him, I said, "How many of y'all are here today?" He said 4. And I handed him $80. And I said, "Please distribute this amongst them all, because I appreciate that they came in today and they gave me a really good meal." And I tell you what, when I left, they all waved and told me bye and come back again, but they were just shocked that somebody did something nice. I mean, it wasn't all that much, and it just made a difference in their lives and their attitudes, I'm sure.
Okay. So some advice for my 20-something-year-old self. Girl, go get that thong bikini and wear it everywhere. Go to Burton Springs on the nude side and take that top off. Do it. That's what I would tell my 20-something-year-old self. Definitely.
Take better care of yourself, because I didn't. And I thought I was invincible and I would not age or age like others. And that's not true. It's not true. Just take better care of yourself. But I have to embrace who I am, so.
That's a good one, because my daughter is, I think she's just breathtaking. I think she is just gorgeous. She's always been very confident about the way that she looks growing up. And I don't know, she always says, "Because you always told me, Mama." that I was beautiful. And I always told her I appreciate that, because I'm glad you listened to that. Just take it as you are. There is nobody else on this earth that looks like you, thinks like you, acts like you, and believes like you. Relish in that. Find the soul, find the spirit and the energy in that, and live in that, because nobody else can ever get there like you can. And there's so much more than beauty. And that's only skin deep. There's so much more inside.
A piece of advice I would give my 20-something self is believe that you have what it takes to get it done. I have often thought, I want to do some great things in my life, but it's not time yet, or I don't have enough experience, or do I really have something to give to those out in the world? And at this point, I would say, yes, you have something incredible to give to the world. Trust that you do, believe in what you have, and move forward. Ask the questions, meet people, and be brave enough to take those courageous steps forward. I would say that maybe look at a child or someone you love dearly. Would you want them to do the thing that you're not willing to do for yourself? Would you want them to go do something really loving and nurturing for themselves? Well, then why wouldn't you want that for yourself?
As women, there are a lot of instances that come up that self-care is so important, but we're made to feel guilty by other people in our environment about taking care of ourselves and providing for ourselves. But from what I've learned in life, you can rely on other people sometimes, but the best person to rely on is yourself. And if you can't be there for yourself and you're not at your best, you're not going to be able to give your best to other people. So you are important, and you have to take care of you and put yourself as a priority, because nobody's going to take better care of you than you are.
I would say to women who feel guilty about doing things for themselves that that's just silly, because if you're not happy with yourself, then you can't feed anybody else's soul. So you have to be whole yourself before you can share with others.
Well, you need that. Other people get what they need, and so you should feel good about going and getting what you need, because you need to regenerate yourself and re-energize yourself in there. And so you get rested and feel good about what you're doing in there, and whatever makes you feel good, that's what you should go for. You shouldn't feel guilty about it, because you're just as important as anyone else.
So recently I was divorced about a year ago, and I was married to someone that was not very kind, and my self-esteem and confidence suffered. And so I think, since then I've been really working on that. I took a new job that's way outside of my comfort zone. Then my ex-husband would say, don't ever do this, but I took on the challenge, to prove myself that I can, and and I have become more confident because of that. And doing this with Maggie, it's another step into feeling confident and beautiful. Just coming out of that was, it didn't, it was not good for my self-esteem and my self-worth. And so I'm just, working on that, coming out of that. And so that was, so it's interesting. Like, it was a hard thing, the divorce, grown and gotten to know myself as a result of it, and becoming a better person for myself, honestly, and probably for others as well, just because I'm happy that I feel like I portray that to others that can be kind. And so that's it.
The significant points of change in my life have been definitely my children. Initially, my marriage, having that commitment to another person. As soon as the kids came along, it was the children. They have really taught me to appreciate time as well, and the little moments in time. And
through family, through them, and my extended family as well, because I come from a culture where extended family is huge. And when I say family, I normally include them, where I know some folks just think of it as the nuclear family, but family in general, you know, grandparents are so important, and aunts and uncles and cousins, they make for a great and wonderful close-knit group and community. And one other significant point in my life was when I returned to dancing. I danced as a little girl. You know, you take your little girls in their tutus to ballet after school and things like that. And I did dance through high school. I stopped for real life, for career, for marriage, for children. And I was lucky enough to return back to ballroom dancing about 5 years ago, and that was a big change in my life, because it's something that I have done for myself and only for myself, and I have thrived in a way that I didn't expect. I became competitive, or maybe you're born competitive, but I never realized how competitive I was and how much I can push myself and how much I can accomplish when I push myself and hold myself to a higher standard. And so that has been very, very significant in my life as of late.
I would say significant points of change is losing people that I love and learning how to grieve, because there comes to an end to everything in life. So learning how to grieve without suffering has been really important, and learning to live harder because you only get one life.
So I've had several significant points in my life, and some bring great joy, some bring the opportunity to learn myself more. And so the one that I will share with you is actually one that has joy in it and also a bit of learning. And that was when I had miscarriage. And what happened in that second trimester miscarriage was great loss. But I also was able to find so much joy in terms of understanding that my child is sitting next to Jesus. And I was able to do that with a woman that came in and prayed with me and was able to let me understand that it's beautiful to have life and the hope for life, but sometimes it doesn't work out, and to release your soul to find that ability to cope with it. And it did change my life forever. It'll always be with me. But I also realize that I don't want to have that as a negative. I want to have that as a positive in my life. And the memories that I learned from that balance between life and death are so significant. It's really helped me embrace my life more.
I feel beautiful right now because I feel like I know who I am. When I say beauty, I mean it in all kinds of ways. Not just the way you look, but the way you are. I have doubted at times, just I think every person, or women in particular, doubt themselves. But I have come to become confident in who I am. That I know the person that I am, that I know I'm family oriented, that I value not just my family, but my friends, that I value my time with them. And I feel like that is what makes me beautiful. And then I try to look cute on top of that. So I think the combination of those things is what makes me confident in my beauty.
Feeling beautiful. It's definitely changed over time, because beauty is more than skin deep, for sure. I call myself a blessed person, right? When I was young, I modeled, and I had a lot of fun. I had great skin and all, things like that. And it's like you think, oh, that's so awesome, and I appreciated all of that. It's not that I didn't appreciate it or took it for granted, but at the same time, looking back at years ago when I did all of those things, that's not true beauty. True beauty is really when you can recognize the good in people and appreciate everyone else. So being a beautiful person means that you see the good in everybody else and you can appreciate everything that they do. So not just seeing what's on the outside or looking at how beautiful their skin is or something like that, but actually seeing the person for who they are, appreciating them, making friends with people and just enjoying them and making them feel good. Because there are so many people out there that don't feel good about themselves at all, and they struggle to get through a day. And when you bring your inner beauty to them to say, you look fantastic today, whatever it is, because you found something so great about them, that's a beautiful person. So so being beautiful is actually not really about you, it's about the people that you interact with. And I think that's what brings out beauty in a person. So, and people will see that. And I think that's the way I want to live the rest of my life, hopefully. And it will hurt that I have some, good skin along the way, but yeah.
I'm really attached to beauty in nature. So the more natural things are, the more beautiful I find them. I'm forever looking at the sky. My son calls me a sky nerd. I feel beautiful now because I'm comfortable with not having to live up to a standard put upon me. I'm able to walk through the world knowing my value, and that's my beauty. It's my own value with myself, and knowing that each of us is unique, but we're all interconnected and we all have commonalities that we can share with each other and learn from one another. Doesn't matter how old or young we are. And I think that's beautiful.
Beauty to me is about being authentic, coming from within. Often, beauty can be a couple of things, I think, for some. For me, it's definitely not about wearing makeup. This is the most makeup I've had on in probably an entire year. For me, it's always my hair. My hair, if it's clean and it's fresh and it's natural, it feels good because it is gray and it's natural, and embrace the gray. It's also, again, I threw out the mirror. I don't look in the mirror anymore. It's, occasionally you look in it, but it's getting comfortable in here, in your heart and in your soul. And sometimes that means spending time alone to get to that point, and then knowing, you know what, if I feel good in here, I'm going to radiate good. And when we understand and embrace the beauty that's inside of us, it starts to shine outside of us. And that's where that beauty, that true essence comes through.
I think people are so critical today that when they do look at people, I don't think they see what's really inside a person. They're too fast to judge. And I've seen way too much hurt by people's quick judgment of a stranger. And that's what I would be, a stranger to someone. And they don't really have the right to judge me. But in this society, that's what people do. I would just hope that people see me, the ones that I know and love, and see that I'm a kind, giving person.
So I think people tend to describe me or see me as the dependable, the foundation, nurturing, motherly, which of course I am a mother, but the one that'll be there. I'll help you, I'll guide you, I'll hold your hand if you're crying or whatever the case may be.
I would like to be described and seen as someone that has strong integrity, someone that is resilient to any task that is at hand, and that has an open heart, an open mind to embrace, and to be seen as confident, yet still growing, because I want to continue to grow in who I am.
How would I like someone to describe me and see me? Honestly, like, I think I said this earlier, but like just being a kind person, and I want people to feel comfortable around me and I think I just want them to generally think that I'm a kind person, because that's what I'm, that's what I feel, and that's what I want to portray. So I think if that's all I can get out of life is, giving kindness, people thinking I'm kind, and I feel like I've done some good. I don't know, and just I it's like, it's interesting. I could even help somebody, and it's like I feel like it's for me, right? I do, like, when I do a good deed, like the other day I was driving to work and I saved this turtle from the road, and then I helped. The same day I helped my neighbor, his dog ran off, I reunited, and it was actually my homeless neighbor that lives on the van across the street. I helped him find his dog, and I felt just so happy and so good. So it's just those little things, those little gestures, just, and I think I want people to think of me as in that way, I guess.
My favorite traits, I like my legs. I do like my eyes and my lips. Those are probably my favorite personal traits. I think for the most part, for my personality wise, I feel like I'm easygoing. Sometimes I'm not, but if I'm balanced, then I'm pretty easygoing and generally pretty happy.
Well, I'm a Gemini, so I guess that would be one of my favorite traits, because I change all the time. And I might be thinking one way and then turn around and do something different. It's just, that would probably be that I'm a twin, and I have the right to change my mind.
My favorite traits about myself can be to a fault, but I am very honest. I really cannot lie. And I'm also very loyal. I really try to, like I've said, I've maintained friendships, but really my loyalty to people and being there when they need me is very important to me.
Kindness. I think it comes more from my mom. My mom taught us that if we have to share, we share. If we have extra, we give it. You don't need a ton of stuff to give to other people. Kindness is a simple thing of just saying hi and acknowledgement. Kindness is giving to others and feeding others. I think that's a very strong trait. Other traits I got from our family is the love of cooking, the love of creation and creativity. And I think those come out in many different ways for us. And I think those are pretty important. And then I think one other one, and I don't know who I got it from. Somebody in our family has that gypsy soul, but I love to be on the move and go places and travel and meet people and experience their lifestyle, not the tourist spots.
If you look at history, the standards of beauty have changed completely all the time. So, and there are people today that really like a certain body type or whatever, hair color or skin color or whatever, and like different. So there will be someone who's gonna like you the way you are and is gonna accept you the way you are, as long as you do, as long as you accept yourself and love yourself, because you can really look like whatever. And as long as you're like, you know what, this is me and I love it, I think you become beautiful anyway.
The advice I would give a younger woman to feel confident and good in her own skin is to spend the time to get to know yourself in an accepting way, understanding, what bothers you, what makes you happy, and really taking that time to understand yourself, because at the end of the day, it's you and yourself, and you're the one that's going to have all the experiences. It's not about any other relationship. It's the relationship you have with yourself that's going to get you through everything.
My advice to someone younger is appreciate where you are, appreciate who you are. You may not see what others see in you. If you need to, ask people, what do you see in me? What do you feel like my best qualities are? And appreciate those. And learn that we all have things about us that we don't like.
I still think, be true to yourself. You march to the beat of your own drum. Be you unapologetically. because at the end of the day, you have to live with your soul. You have to live with your mind, and you have to live with your heart. Nobody can fill those voids for you but yourself. Once you learn yourself, everything is kudos. That's all.
I started feeling attractive in my 30s. I knew how to put makeup on, and I pretty much had my own style, and I worked. So I was able to go and shop and buy the things that I liked. And I had fun doing that and putting it together. And a couple years into my 30s, a few friends would say, "Gee, Marcy, you have your own style." And I just love it. I love how you dress. And I just felt pretty. When a woman hears from another woman that you look pretty, and how did you do that, or where did you get that, it makes you feel good. So we need to spread that out to the world and let other women experience the beauty of others.
So I think I felt the most attractive in my life in my late 20s, just to early 30. Of course, what shifted was pregnancy, right? Which had its own unique sense of beauty. I never expected to be catcalled while I was 8.5 months pregnant, but you know, it surprised you sometimes. I was like, what? But I would say I felt most attractive when somewhere after my 25th birthday. And I think it was at that time I kind of learned to just show my body a little bit more, right? I learned to have my dress. Just felt comfortable to have my dresses a little bit shorter, my skirts a little bit shorter, to have my tops a little bit tighter, and came out of my teenage mindset about myself and into fully embracing my feminine, I am a woman self. And it was before pregnancy. Yes, that was that time frame of I'm looking good, I'm all that. And it's not as though it's entirely gone away, but it's definitely not what I used to experience when I was young. So don't waste your youth.
When have I felt the most attractive in my life? Well, dang, I should have really loved myself when I was in my teens and my 20s, because I was perfect. But of course up here I was not even close. I do feel really good at 53 because I've been in my career for a long time. I'm finally feeling mentally stronger, physically stronger, lifting weights. I feel like my husband and I have a great connection and that we really communicate well. Sometimes I'm just really astonished on how great my life is. And I'm 53, so it's like the beginning.
I felt really beautiful when I was pregnant. I just was joyful each time, and I guess I feel so feminine, and you feel attractive because especially the bigger you get. I had twins, and then my fourth baby, I had excessive fluids. I was massive, and I'm already 6 feet tall, so I was just huge pregnant. But it's a wonderful time to take up like lots of space and draw attention to yourself, and it's not too much about you, but I felt really beautiful when I was pregnant. That's what comes to mind first.
I think I would define it the way I always did. I never was one for how somebody looked or what it was that they had to offer. It was always the inside. To me, what brought me towards somebody, to gravitate towards them, and the light that they shone onto other people. So I feel the beauty is still actually the same as it was when I was a teenager as to where I am now over 50.
Beautiful now is something that it doesn't have anything to do with physical appearance. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with your soul. And beautiful before 30 it's something you jack off to. And beautiful after 40 is something you live with until you die. Hopefully when you're old. Don't piss me off.
Feeling beautiful now is about knowing who I am right now and putting on a piece of clothing or a piece of jewelry that I already know is just an embodiment of who I already am. When I put on a pair of jeans that feel great and I get my hair done and I put my makeup on, for me, those things are important. I feel absolutely stunning. And I walk out and I know that I command a room. I know that I have the confidence that I need to walk into any area. I feel beautiful because I know what suits me and what doesn't at this point in my life.
Well, I guess defining beauty is just not an external thing. I've learned not to judge someone by their outward appearance. It's more what's inside. That's where the true beauty comes. Someone's heart, the way they treat the elderly, the way they help people, holding the door open for people. That's what beauty is.
Yeah, it has changed over time because I feel like if you're mentally stronger, that's definitely attractive. And then if you are, you have good balance, you can bend over and pick something up without hurting yourself. And I think those things are very attractive.
Being attractive, it definitely changes through over time. It's I'd say more internal, just who you are, your beliefs and what you truly believe, what you truly believe in. And, especially when you start having grandchildren, I think you really do see a difference in that.
I'm pretty sure when I was in my 20s, I thought the thinner you were, the more attractive you were. So that was the 90s, right? Early 90s. And it really didn't matter anything except for being thin in those days, at least to my recollection. And how it's changed, the most obvious thing to me is that in America, we actually see beauty in lots of shades everywhere. I love that. I think the campaigns that large companies have done to be inclusive with body size, inclusive size, and color and shape, I think it really has made a huge difference. I was oddly out to a club recently for a friend's birthday, and I'd never been to a club in this area really, but we were out in a legit club. First off, the mean age was 12. But, so I really felt like I was there as a chaperone, and I think that'll be my last time in a club. I don't need to ever do that again. But anyway, what I saw was amazing with the younger generation is that these girls were wearing what you might expect in a club, provocative, but they were in all shapes and sizes. And I was celebrating in my heart because I would never come out in something, whether I felt beautiful or not. Maybe I'd be in my bedroom in something, but I would never come out in public if I didn't, if I wasn't under a size 8 in something that was considered risque or something. But these girls were wearing what they want. They held their head high. They were not hiding behind stick figure girls or anything like that. So I think it's made a huge difference. That was a long answer, but it's made a huge difference that we have chosen to be inclusive of all shapes and colors. It's making a difference to younger generations. I think people in my generation are still trying to be as thin as humanly possible, but we're doing better. We know better for our girls.
I think when you're young, you think that attractive is all outward. I think that as you grow older, you realize that it's not all outward. It's not all outward appearance. It's really who you are as a human being and what you feel on the inside and your energy. The energy is a big, huge thing that I had to learn. I've met so many people who, don't have really good energy, and that really speaks volumes when you're trying to
build relationships. So I think that as you get older, you realize what's really important.
For me, the best thing about being a woman over 50 is I believe that people sometimes, which it's also the worst thing about being a woman over 50, is that sometimes people tend to not pay a whole lot of attention to us. And before they know it, here comes the train shooting right at them, and we've already overtaken the whole process. They feel sometimes they're way over intimidated, and they don't know how to deal with it when we do run up on them on the tracks.
Oh, that you can finally just say, I don't care what you think about me. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, it's okay. And I've learned to say, it is okay if someone doesn't like me, and it's okay if you're mad at me. I didn't think that in my 30s. Definitely 20s, no way. So learn that it's all okay.
Being a woman over 50, I think you get respect from other people. I think people do respect their elders, even though you don't really hear like that on the media. It's not really a thing, but I think in real life, I think you do get respect. And I think especially if you carry yourself well and you speak your truth, then you're going to get respect. And so that's what I think.
The best thing about being a woman over 40, at least for me, was that I started to notice that a lot of things that I thought were truths, like the law of gravity is true, they're not. They're just things that society decided and then got implanted in my brain, and you can stop believing those things. And you can decide who you want to be and how you want to behave. And as long as you're not harming anyone else, you can do whatever you want.
Have I slowed down since I've turned 60? No. No. And I don't want to. I want to keep going and just keep working until I just decide not to.
How have I turned? Actually, I've actually gotten busier since I've turned 60. My consulting business has just taken off, and which has been wonderful. And I, honestly, without the responsibilities of taking kids places and, being home for sporting events and all of those kinds of things, I think I'm actually able to devote more to things that are important to me. And so I like staying busy. When I'm not busy, I get bored. So I think professionally, I've been able to really become a lot busier and able to take on more now that I've been over 60.
No, I probably am faster than I was, because when I had my businesses, it was sedentary, and now I can't even remember where I was last week because I'm on the road so much, doing things that I love and with people I love, that it's an adventure, and I'm going faster.
And I would say no. Yes, you get a little ache and pain here and there, but I don't stop. I just keep on going, and I enjoy it. I enjoy life. I get out there and I meet people, and I have game night with friends, and we go out to eat. And, it's nice not having to be able to have to get up and go to work and have a schedule for us. We get to create our own schedule. But the good thing about being 70 and not having other responsibilities is that we can do for ourselves and do stuff we never got to do because we were too busy working with other people and helping our family and doing this and doing that. And the demands of our lives when we were younger was so intense, and now it's more calming.
With this photo shoot, I'm actually trying to move forward in being present in social media and not hiding behind my desk or the phone, because it's really not as relevant to upcoming generations. So I myself am trying to be brave and you know, show my face, even though I'm well over 40, closer to 50 now, because, gosh, I'm only halfway through this deal. I can't hide for the next 50 years, right? So I know that I want to be relevant to people 25 years younger than me, especially in my industry. They need the wisdom that I have, and that's where they go for information. So I'm still on the edge about sharing everything or sharing my children. I sort of go in and out about I really want to share it, and then sometimes I worry about the future and AI. So I don't know. I usually wait till I'm compelled, but I'd really like to step into it more personally, because I have a lot to offer, and that's where people are looking for information.
We're the original trendsetters. And the only reason we disapprove of half the trends that are happening now as a 40, 50, or 60-year-old woman is because that's not what we would ever show our grandchildren today. So just be cognizant of where you are when you're younger, because as we're older, I mean, wisdom comes with age, and youth is wasted on the young.
So for social media for all women in the mature decades, or what people call mature 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond, I want to see authenticity. Filters are fun, but we are beautiful as we are. I want them to see that just because our age increases doesn't mean that we're any less beautiful physically, but also to see that a lot of us are still out there doing a lot of things that younger people are doing, and it's never too late to start something new or try something new.
So social media is tricky, and 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond, maybe you see them on Facebook, but you don't see them as much on the Insta or the other platforms. I am definitely a representation of that. I don't do anything pretty much except Facebook. So there's a little bit of it's on us to go out there to be seen, not for social media to find us somehow to show us. So we have to learn. And again, this is part of transitioning in our 40s, 50s, and 60s. You can't stop learning, right? If you're going to go and expect to be seen, you got to step out and say hi.
Well, as time goes by, I have felt more confident because I have been able to maintain a marriage of 42 years. I have 3 wonderful grown boys that are excellent with their own lives, and it's just a reflection, of course, of the parents. But that's when I have felt confidence that I have been able to achieve this in the type of world that we live now.
I think when I got my master's degree in healthcare, business healthcare, that I felt I could do anything. I have a master's in business. I could do business if I wanted to. I could, stay in healthcare, and I kind of felt very confident that, if I wanted to, I could go do something else. And it doesn't have to be in healthcare, because I've been a nurse for 35 years, I think. And I felt like having that would give me not the strength, but, the sword to kind of go through and try to do other things.
I think now at this stage in my life, because I can do everything on my terms. Like, I married young and had kids young, so everything was about kids and family. Husband, don't have one of those anymore. So now it's like absolutely all about me and whatever I feel good in my skin, the whatever wrinkles and weight gain up and down and stretch marks or lines, or like that. When you're younger, you're so paranoid about looking good for everybody else, and now it's just that I'm healthy, relatively healthy. I'm enjoying life. I'm not stressed for money. It's just a great place to be, where you can do everything on your own terms and not have to worry like literally about anybody else. My kids are grown. I got grandkids. I love them. You know, I do for them as I choose to. And it's just really all about me. And I'm loving this stage of life where it can be all unapologetically all about me.
I think today you actually showed me something, because I've always thought that I wanted to be pretty in like a nice flowy dress or something, but I felt more beautiful and more confident just being me, in something that isn't as feminine and in a more masculine, but yet showing my femininity, if that makes sense. So the leather and the lace is good for me.
I realize that life changes every single day, every day. And I'm just not this one thing. I'm just like a quilt. I've got little patches pieced together. There's a lot that makes me who I am. So I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
I'm really happy I did it.
Well, if you haven't done one of these, you should. No, I mean, I really, again, as I've said, I'm a firm believer in every woman should have a professional photo shoot done. Professional hair and makeup, you deserve it. And the photo shoot, even if you feel uncomfortable, the pictures you get back and what you see, you're seeing what everybody else sees. Because when you look in the mirror, you're looking at all the things you want to nitpick. But when you see those photos, you're seeing what everyone else sees. And that's critical. That's critical for you to step outside of yourself and see yourself as the way you're basically seen by all the people that love you. So I highly recommend it.
I just like to encourage women that when you're getting older, it's not a sign that, you know, your life is over. It's not over. This is the time that you need to, of course, embrace it, enjoy with your family, enjoy yourself. Doesn't matter, you know, how you look. It's what you feel inside, because a lot of older women don't feel like, you know, they're very, very old or falling apart or whatever, you know? So you feel like you still have life in you. Yes, enjoy that life. Bring it forth and live your life to the fullest and embrace all these years that God has given us.
If you need or you feel insecure about anything about yourself, whether it be something about the way you look, something about the way you feel, something about the way that I have records that run around in my head, and it's the most negative stuff I've ever said about myself, and it runs around in my head all the time. I have learned to quiet those records, and I have learned to, it's not easy. It's taken me 56 years to figure out how to quiet them down. So it ain't gonna happen overnight. But I'm learning how to quiet those voices and those negative thoughts and those just horrible things I think about myself and the way I see myself. And I am finding so much more peace in myself. Since I've started doing that, you don't like something I do? Get over it. You don't like the way I look? Don't look. I mean, I've started living in those things, and I'm so much happier, and I'm so much more relaxed, and just more at peace at myself. So it's worth it. It's hard. It's not fun, but I'm in a place now where I've wanted to be exactly where I'm at, and it feels really good. And this has helped me like over 10 steps, because this was a huge insecurity for me. Doing this has taken me already to a whole nother level of who I am. And I am very humbled by Maggie doing this program, and I'm proud of myself for offering to do it and willing to do it.
Thank you for celebrating with us and taking the time to learn more about these 40 incredible women, to hear their stories, to gain inspiration, to listen to their wisdom and unique experiences and what they have to offer to us. I'm so proud of each of them for stepping forward and to having the confidence to put themselves out there. I know for a lot of the women it was a little uncomfortable, but in the process I know they gained confidence. I want to take a few moments and just thank each woman that stepped in front of my camera. It really meant so much to me that you said yes to my concept and idea of this portrait exhibition and celebration. And it evolved and changed. So anyways, I wanted to thank you for the trust to be a part of this, but for also being vulnerable to step in front of my lens and let me show you what I see. I'm very honored to have each of you be a part of this, and you'll always stay a piece of my heart. So thank you so much.